Okay, so now look at number 3. What did Hannah dwell on?
Couldn't bear a child. Could not have a child.
What do you base that on? What makes you feel like she dwelled on that?
She was bitter, grieved, depression, thinking that everybody else, other ladies were having kids and she couldn't have one.
But she was weeping a lot, not eating.
She was weeping a lot. She wasn't eating. Sounds like she was depressed, right?
Low self-esteem.
Had probably didn't have no esteem. So she dwelt on that. Could we say for a period?
I think it went back and forth. It seemed like she was like one moment dwelling on the lie, the next moment dwelling on the fact that God was, up until a certain point, it was like she was going back and forth.
So for a certain period, she went back and forth with this thought. Well, maybe I wasn't created to do that. Maybe I'm really not. My body was not made for that. Maybe that's really not who I am. Anybody ever been there?
And then she switched over to if.
Seemed like something clicked. Well, maybe God can.
And not just that, with her thinking that she couldn't bear him children, this other woman was, she didn't know for sure. I mean, he told her that he loved her, but then she knew when probably that seeing him with her and having children and so forth, that would make her have low self-esteem also as well, not knowing and then how she know he was gonna keep her there.
So, even though he was saying he loved her, are you saying that there was some doubt in her mind whether or not he loved her?
Yes, because here another woman is in this house giving you everything that a woman should give, and I can't. She didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was telling her that, and then he started saying that, are you drinking, and thinking that she may have been a drunk. She didn't know he was gonna let her continue to stay there or not. From her point of view, by not knowing that she couldn't bear him children.
So, in that, could we say that it is very important for us as women to be secure?
Exactly. Yes.
Not necessarily in another individual?
Yes.
Could we say in that actions speak louder than words?
Yes.
Because he kept telling her
Right.
that he loved her. He provided for her, right?
Everything she needed.
She didn't have to worry about anything. But yet and still, like you said, he's got another woman, and he's having to give her some attention, the children some attention. Would you say he was kind of selfish?
Yeah.
Or did he really even care about, he had what he wanted. I mean, he was providing, but he had somebody that was bearing children, and then he had somebody he could lay with from time to time. And so, did it really make a big difference that she couldn't to him? Like, was it really right?
Yeah,
So,
really and truly,
because
did he really truly love her the way he said he was telling Hannah that he loved her?
I mean, because there was no encouragement that, but God's gonna, just like, if there was no encouragement from him that God would do what we know that God would do. He was just saying, I love you. Is that not enough, what I'm giving you? And so that's very selfish, and she knew that he was also making her feel insecure. You can't be secure in something that's not provoking you to do better and to trust the God that we all going to church, as much as they were going year after year, to stand on. So there was no security at all in her environment.
And not just that, he had more than one child with her. And one lady just slept with her that one time to get one child. So he was constantly sleeping with her.
Well, that was his wife.
Right. But I'm saying, but
Yeah,
still, he had another child. So she still could bear children.
Yeah, and in that too, he could have always, when he found her in those moments of crying and depressed and all that, he could have been the man that consumed her for a little while, and then saw that wasn't working, and then would just say to her, well, it's not me, it's gotta be you, because I am producing children. So some men would be like that and just say it to a woman, it's gotta be you, because I know I'm producing children. So it's not.
And she had a mixed emotional feelings.
She had a lot of stuff going on, and I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me good, because yes, she did have a lot of stuff going on from every direction.
I think she just felt cursed.
Could that tell us that there is nobody here on earth, no matter how much they say they love us, and I believe that he did love her. There is nobody here on earth that can do for you what only God can do.
Exactly, Amen.
There are some things that only God can do.
God can fulfill.
We keep waiting on him. But he said, but she said, I'm just waiting on him. I'm just waiting on her. But through this, we find that there is nobody that can truly fulfill the value on the inside of you, but God himself. No, I don't care how much, how many times he pays your rent. I don't care how fine he keeps you dressed. Don't care what kind of car he buys you. Still, you can be unfulfilled if God is not filling that value in you.
Amen. Oh, yeah.
So hopefully this will help us to understand that we can't depend on nobody else to fulfill us but God himself. Anybody ever been in a relationship, and it doesn't have to be a relationship with a man, but I mean even your girlfriend, your children, or whatever, you're in a relationship with them and you know that they care about you, but there's only so far they can go, right? Because they got to look after who? They got to look after them too, right? But there's only one totally selfless person who has no agenda. Who is that? Jesus the Christ. His only agenda is to love you. His only agenda is to fulfill you. That's his only agenda. So while we're putting our hopes and our dreams in somebody else, know that we will be let down. Not because they want to let us down, but because that's just human nature. That's just human nature. Okay, good, y'all. Now look at number 4. What specifically did Hannah believe? Could we say that she believed in the power of prayer?
And that she was worth. She believed that she was worthy.
She believed that she was worthy. She believed, remember, although she started out in doubt, and a lot of times, y'all, we start out in doubt. We really are not sure if this is what God has for us. We're really not sure if this is what we're capable of. So a lot of times we start out in doubt. But because she believed because she was persistent in going back, Lord, if you find favor in me,